When LeBron James received his MVP last week after averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists, he told me he could still get better. I said, where? How? He said, I should be a better than 75% free throw shooter. I thought it was something he'd be working on in the offseason, but he went immediately to Ray Allen and said, Ray, help me. Ray said, what you're doing, LeBron, is you're dipping the ball down, swinging it, then going up and under like you're trying to clear space from a defender. Then you're shooting from the right side and missing to the right. He said, that's wasted movement. Just take the ball, go straight up and over. Last game, LeBron, 11-11, seeing immediate results from the free throw line.
Wow. TNT's Craig Sager saying exactly what I'm going to tell you. LeBron James has been working with Ray Allen on his free throws, perfecting his technique. Skip Bayless, you saw this last night and mentioned it in the meeting. What do you make of it? Fascinating?
Stephen A., I'm very impressed by this because I've said to you many times, the one glitch in LeBron's repertoire has been, number one, his three-point shooting, but more important, free throws. It's called their free throws. And LeBron can get to the free throw line just about any time he so desires. So you got to make your free throws. I'd like to see him be at least in the 80s, if not a 90% free throw shooter, the way so many of the great players were. So, Stephen A., when I now watch him shoot free throws, and he's made 19 of his last 20, it looks different to me. It looks strong. It looks sturdy. It looks like it'll stand up better under pressure. And I thought Craig did a marvelous job with his report, and then he talked to LeBron about it after the game. LeBron, as we talked about, improved his three-point shooting to 41%. That's just the way Magic and Michael Jordan did mid-career. They figured out how to make three-point shots. They worked on it hard in the off seasons, and Magic perfected more of a set shot. Michael got his jumper going from the longer distance, and they became lethal. Now LeBron is lethal. Now he's invincible. Got to make him late in games, but he started last year in Game 2 at Oklahoma City when he stepped to the line and put them up 4 late in that game after that questionable foul that he got away with on Kevin Durant. But I'm impressed. I was blown away by the report last night because this will make LeBron by far the best player in the game.
Well, I wasn't blown away by it because I'm not surprised by it, because the one thing that I marvel at about LeBron James is that as great as he is, he's never satisfied with his own level of greatness. He doesn't take his talents for granted. And I think that more than anything else is what makes a star athlete a role model. When you don't sit there and rest on your laurels, when you push forward, constantly trying to exceed a certain level of excellence and greatness that you've already established. And you know, we always have a few nincompoops, a few idiots out there who always want to get on folks because they sit around and you talk about LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, and you know, you accuse people of kissing somebody's tush or whatever the case may be. Here's the reality that everybody needs to recognize. You have to appreciate greatness when it's in front of your face. I always lean back towards the time, Skip, when I was there in 99, 2099 actually, when Michael Jordan retired from the game of basketball for good, supposedly, before he came back, became a Washington Wizard, after the 6 titles in Chicago. I was there the day he announced his retirement. Skip, I had always come to Chicago as a beat writer, and the city of Chicago was just buzzing. It was electric. You got off the plane, and it was just something in the air that was just special, all because Michael Jordan was here. The day he retired, the city of Chicago literally, to me, resembled a morgue. It looked, it was lost. It was like a ghost town. There was nobody in the streets. Businesses were closed. Nobody wanted to work. Nobody wanted to do anything. All because Michael Jordan had said goodbye. You know this because you've worked in this town, and I'm sure you were around. There. That's right, when he retired. And it's like, I remember that. You know why, Skip, I bring up that story? Because we knew that something so special that was taking place before our eyes, it had come to an end. We're going to feel that way to some degree when Kobe says goodbye. Yep. We're going to feel that way when LeBron says goodbye. We're going to feel that way. We felt that way when Magic said goodbye, even though we had an heir apparent. The point is, you have to appreciate it for what it is in front of your face. LeBron's working on his free throws. He worked on his perimeter shot in the offseason. You know, he's always in condition. He goes into the weight room before and after games. He does this stuff religiously because he doesn't take it for granted. Other great athletes, especially those who are younger and aspire to be great, this is somebody you emulate. And I am a critic who has been a critic of LeBron James. And I have to tip my hat to him and say, yo, this is what it is. This is what it's supposed to be. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. The problem is most other folks do not.
I will also add to all of your eloquence that LeBron, to me, is as durable an athlete as I've ever watched. Kobe is too. Kobe seems to get beat up more than LeBron does. It's almost like LeBron is Iron Man. He doesn't need the Iron Man suit. He just is iron. And he is now in position to do great things. He's got to close the deal. We'll see. We just talked about how this is now his team. The responsibility is going to fall on his shoulders to take this team home. Now that D-Wade does have some sort of ongoing bruised knee issue. But all the work ethic, all the durability, I give him the highest marks. I am in awe.
We are at a point now where it's pretty senseless to judge LeBron James on anything but rings. That's what it's come down to. How many rings are you going to get? Did you win the chip? If you didn't win the chip, why didn't you win the chip? That's about it. But in terms of his game, just looking on it on a day-to-day basis, even when he has a bad night, you know he's going to follow it with 25 good ones. So it's just the bad moments are aberrations now. You know what I'm saying? It's gotten to the point where that's all I mean when I talk about praising this kid. He has elevated himself to such, and I was just speaking to your guy. He ain't your guy. I'm being facetious here. Scottie Pippen, just the other day at the Bulls game. And Scottie walked up to me unsolicited, unprovoked, and he said to me, look, man, I can never knock Michael Jordan. We know Michael Jordan is the greatest. I got nothing but love for him. 6-time champion. I know. I played with him. I know. He said, but I can't deny what I see when I'm watching this kid perform on the court. And I said to him, Scotty, you could have checked him. He said, no, I couldn't. He said, LeBron's got me by about 30 pounds, Steve. I don't think I could have checked him. That's what he told me.
Wow. All right. We leave it there. And move on to Skip's Spurs, shall we? It's the veterans versus